All right. Welcome, everyone. This is Dr. Matthew Loop, and I'm happy that you're joining me today on this powerful, new, timely training. If you apply this information, this has the potential to change your practice like it has thousands of my other clients for the better. In fact, getting this one system in can bring in new patients left and right for years and years to come without a lot of maintenance. Now, this is titled the 2022 Google My Business New Patient Blueprint: How to Rank Number One and Attract an Extra 10 to 20 New Patients per Month from the world's largest search engine without spending a dollar. So make sure that you shut yourself away, pay close attention, take some notes, because I promise this next short while that we're together is going to be very impactful. If you're new to Google Maps, Google My Business, as it's called, this is what it looks like. I just went and Googled Detroit chiropractor, and you can see here that you get a map and it shows three top chiropractic offices. One has 10 reviews, another has 10 reviews, and the other one has 278 reviews. Who's the only logical choice in this scenario if you were looking for a chiro? Exactly, the one with 278 reviews. We always want to stack social proof in our favor, not just on Google, but on Facebook and all these social channels. And when you do it, of course, naturally, you become the go-to person in your community. We'll come back to this in just one second. What I'd like to do right off the bat, though, is I'd like to give you 3 ways to contact Google My Business, because I know it can be a very big challenge, and it has been in the last several years. So the first way is if you have a Google AdWords account, you can actually go and call the Google AdWords phone number, and it's 866 to Google. And then what they could do is once you're connected to a rep, they could connect you to the Google local department. I've had clients get some answers that way. Of course, you can always tweet them at Google My Biz. And you could go to support.google.com/business/get-help. That's support.google.com/business/get-help and write a support ticket. So very valuable information there. I will say it's almost 2022. We as a profession need to start marketing, advertising, and just doing online outreach like it's the actual year we live in. Nobody wants to go to see outdated and out of touch doctors, so you have to evolve yourself with the time, or else you're going to look stale, right? And nobody's going to want to come and see you. Now, before we progress any further during this presentation, I wanted to let you know about an event that I'm hosting with a partner in Miami Beach at the Fontainebleau. This is a lovely property. We're hosting it April 22nd that weekend, and it's a half day each day, but you're going to learn the newest social media strategies that will help you multiply your impact, your income, and your influence. And we'll show you also ways to create additional streams of income. And like I said, it's in a beautiful paradise of a location. So April 22nd through the 24th at the Fontainebleau, Miami Beach, and 8 to 12:30 each day. And we're going to do a yacht cruise one of those days through the city of Miami. It's just gorgeous if you've never been. We have super early bird pricing still available up until 11:30, and you can save $400 on your ticket. Just visit www.ucam.fun. That's www.ucam.fun. So if you want to join us in Miami Beach, go there after this training and check it out. Also, I've got this cultural authority white paper for chiropractors, 11 professional ways to earn instant expert status, prestige, and public trust. It's what we should have learned in school but didn't. You can download that at dcincome.com/blog/authority. The cool thing about this is that you'll actually be on my email list. So if you have any questions, you can just respond to one of those emails. Sometimes social media can be very strict, and we're just seeing that you need to have other channels that you're using communication-wise as well, because nothing is for certain tomorrow. So make sure you get on my email list and download this authority blueprint. I think you'll find it very valuable. And also, if we're not connected on the major social channels, you can find me on TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and I'm always here to help answer your questions and to post new content that helps you grow your practice. Now, just a quick backstory. I'm a chiropractor like you, graduated in 2004. All I wanted to do was help people and got out of school with this big heart, and I just didn't have a good business savvy like many that are coming out of school. You don't just hang your sign and people walk through the door. So I was struggling a fair amount in practice, and then I got really good eventually using social media like MySpace and YouTube 2005, 2006, before anyone was using it way back in the day. And that set my life on a whole different trajectory because I ended up being able to help over 8,000 chiropractors as clients, and over 25,000 more have went through my free reports and trainings online. So it's been a pretty amazing thing just to help so many doctors within the profession. And I thought, man, if I could help thousands of doctors reach millions of patients, that was a pretty cool thing. So my journey actually was more accidental into the consulting field as I got really good at using these channels. My friends were asking me, "Hey, how are you using this, the MySpace or YouTube, to grow your practice?" And I began showing them, and it started to cut into my practice time. So that's what I had to say. I got to figure out how to put this into an information product, and the rest is kind of history. I've been fortunate to speak on pretty much every major stage in chiropractic, and have just been very fortunate to help a lot of people, and I am passionate about what I do. So, all right, Google Maps. Here's another example of what it looks like, right? If you were going to type in Bozeman chiropractor, you'd see a doc with 587, 150, and 90 reviews. Who are you going to choose? Of course, the one with 587 every single time. People buy doctors like they buy books on Amazon. They want to see the feedback. And when you dial this in, it's the low-hanging fruit, and it creates a system that feeds your office for years and years to come. Let's get into the major Google My Business updates that I know many of you are really looking to learn from here. Check this out. Actually, Google My Business is going away, and they're relabeling it Business Profile. So just like they changed the name from Google Maps, Google Places, Google My Business, now it's going to be referred to as Business Profile. So just an FYI, if you hear that, don't let it confuse you. Also, what you might notice is that you can do everything you need to do from Google Search now. So if you type in the name of your practice or your business, you're going to have these options here where you can edit the profile. You don't have to log in to the normal Google My Business Management profile. And also, businesses with less than 10 listings won't be able to use the normal Google My Business dashboard, right? So you're going to have to make that change in the coming future. The Google My Business mobile app is going away. That's another change. Google My Business launches red receipts. So if you go back into your Google My Business, you have the option, it'll say send red receipts. This just lets the customers know that you read their message. Google is all about response time and customer service, so they try to make that a priority in their search. Also, call history. If you haven't noticed this feature, it's back there. You can actually get a call log. Messaging, and I have in quotation marks, respond in 24 hours. The messaging component isn't new, but the response time is. And there's been rumors and talk of the fact that if you're not responsive within 24 hours, Google might disable that feature. So that's really important to understand. You or a team member needs to be on this. If you haven't turned the messaging on, you can actually go to your Google business profile and turn on messaging, and then turn on chat, just like that. Also, the max video upload size has changed. It used to be 100 megabytes, now it's 75. Health and safety attributes have been expanded, like appointment required, staff gets temperature checks. You can check any of these options here. Temperature check required, mask required, staff wear masks, based on your practice. So, do you have a business profile listing? If you have one, are you in the 3-pack on the first page? Just like this we talked about. This is the prime real estate. So, if you have a Google business profile listing, that's fantastic. But if you're not on the first page, then you're not getting even a small percentage of the new patients that you could be in your office. Do you have double or triple the amount of reviews than your competitors? Do you have a bad review? I'm not going to ask, but most will get a negative review. Now, here's an example I always like to give. I don't know anything about this practice, but if I came across it and I saw 1.5 stars, there's no way that I'm going there. So make sure that you Google your practice name and your name specifically to make sure on the first and second pages you don't have any bad reviews. And if you do, we need to send some people over there previous patients, current patients, family, friends, anyone that you've treated to elevate that. So where do you start? Well, you look for your listing first if by chance you don't have one. Hopefully you do. You can go to google.com/business or just Google the practice name. And here are the ranking factors. They really fall into three big categories. Number one is relevance. Two is prominence. Three is distance. Now, relevance refers to how well a local business profile matches what someone is searching for. Add complete and detailed business information to help Google get a better understanding of your business and match your profile to relevant searches. Prominence refers to how well known a business is. Some places are more prominent in the offline world, and search results try to reflect this in local ranking. For example, famous museums, landmark hotels, or well-known store brands are also likely to be prominent in local search results. Prominence is also based on information that Google has about a business from across the web, like links, articles, and directories. Google review count and review score factor into local search ranking. More reviews and positive ratings can improve your business's local ranking. Your position in the web results is also a factor, so search engine optimization, SEO, best practices do apply. Distance considers how far each potential search result is from the location term used in a search. If a user doesn't specify a location in their search, Google calculates distance based on what we know about their location. Factors that influence Google business ranking: your profile completed and the proper categories selected, the listing verified, the main keyword, city, chiropractor in the business name, activity on the profile, business description, citations, which are just basically your practice listed on other directories around the internet, like Yelp, Superpages, Yellow Pages, and things like that. Content quality on your website matters. Click-through rate. Website updated and optimized for desktop, mobile. Backlinks help a reporter out. Guest blog post, press releases, YouTube, where you can get backlinks. Of course, reviews affect the ranking. Traffic to your chiropractic website. If your Google map is embedded on your chiro site. The distance to the town center. And more weight is being placed on mobile friendliness, on-page SEO of the site, social signals, images that are added to the profile, Google Business posts, messaging, and local phone numbers. And of course, embedding that Google map on the contact page. Now, this is important. Use any and all features that Google rolls out for business profile listings. I've said this for many years. Even if it's just new and you don't see how it would influence the ranking, if you use everything that Google has available to you, you're going to have the best shot at ranking high in there. One of my clients, Dr. Frank, he talks about how he had 8 new patients this week alone from online, and the emails and calls keep coming, and he is ranked at the top of Google Maps. Dan Farkas talks about, I used this training program and did everything I was told. 4 months after opening a new office, I've been able to get here at the top of the list on the front page of Google without spending a penny for marketing. Thank you, Matthew Loop. That's awesome to hear. Now, this script gets you reviews pretty fast. So let's say Mrs. Jones comes in and she's loving you. Then you say, basically, Mrs. Jones, we're thrilled you've noted such great results with chiropractic. Tell you what, we would love your feedback on Google before you leave today, because it helps us help more people that never knew chiropractic was an option for headaches. Do you think you would be able to take a minute and before you leave, just write us a quick review? And then what you're going to do is you're just going to be silent. And Mrs. Jones is probably going to say, oh, yeah, absolutely. And then you or your CA can direct her into the reception area, and she can do it right there from your phone. That's going to get you the highest compliance because she's right there in your office. So make it simple. And listen, we know that if the person goes home, life gets in the way. How many times have we had that happen? The person will say, oh, yeah, I'll do it, next time or whatever. And they never do it because life happens. So you want to make sure that you convey how important that is for you, and that it actually helps us help more people. And, she's probably going to do it. And, the money is in the follow-up, certainly. If somebody has the best of intentions and they do forget, well, we could remind them. And but if you're persistent, you're going to have and find it's very easy to get consistent feedback. And my recommendation is to get at least 5 reviews every single week in your practice. So write that down. 5 reviews. If you can get 10 reviews a week, that's great. Now, don't get 10 reviews in one day because that doesn't look normal. But 5 reviews is that's pretty consistent. Make sure all the office team is on the same page. Imagine if you would have implemented this just 6 months ago. Review software. I get a lot of questions about this, and it's not mandatory for you to have any programs like this, but a lot of my clients do. That's fine. Sometimes these are automated programs that just remind people periodically if they forget to do it. So any way that you can remind them, I am all for it. Plan of action. We already talked about it. Get 5 to 10 reviews every single week, and soon those reviews are going to add up, and eventually that snowball is going to turn into an avalanche. Are you repackaging your reviews? If you're going to get reviews, it makes sense to screenshot these reviews and post them on Facebook and other social channels. You always want to repackage and maybe post them on your website too. Anytime we get feedback or even have a testimonial book in the office or a testimonial wall, you can never have too many reviews. And I always like to feature these online and offline, so get in the habit of repackaging. Now, a mistake to avoid is getting reviews from the same computer in the office. That's a big no-no. Should always be done from the patient's phone. Mistake number 2, inconsistency. And that's the kiss of death, really. If you're not consistent with reviews, well, one, your ranking is not going to remain high, and other people are going to overtake you. So we have to be consistent because Google loves to see you actively maintaining that. Mistake number 3, not getting started. Like I said, it's almost 2022. You don't want to have and be in the hole right now. You want to have the majority of reviews in your market because this affects you in so many different ways. For example, is if you start running Facebook advertising campaigns, Instagram advertising campaigns, what people do is they see you on Facebook, but they go and Google your name. They Google your practice name to see what others have said about you. And if you have a large amount of feedback, it just increases your conversion. I see this all the time. Docs that have a very strong Google presences, it makes the conversion everywhere else be much more effective. Now, Yelp is a pain in the neck. They really are. They're an unethical company. And I hear this a lot, but they are a necessary evil because they're integrated with all iPhones. You know, if you pull back Apple Maps, they pull back Yelp listings. Many smart speakers in the homes. If you say, Alexa, who's the top 3 chiropractors in Detroit? They pull back Yelp listings. So they are a necessary evil. You need to know everywhere Yelp gets indexed. You don't just ask anyone for a Yelp review. It's got to be somebody that's active on the network, and you can go on Yelp logged in as your personal profile, and in the upper right-hand corner, you can select your icon, and there's a drop-down. One of those drop-downs says Find Friends. Then you can search via email, via name, and you can search your entire patient list, really, and see if anyone is active. If they got at least 10 reviews on Yelp, well, it's likely that their review might actually stick. Other review sites that you need to be aware of: WebMD, RateMDs, HealthGrades, Yellow Pages, Facebook, Wellness.com, Nextdoor, Bing. If you Google your practice name, whatever comes up on the first 3 pages, you want to have 5 stars all the way across the board. Certainly, Google and Yelp are the most popular platforms, followed by Facebook for reviews. But like I said here, WebMD, that is a company that's built a lot of brand equity over many, many years. And they now have a place where you can review physicians. So that could be a ton of traffic that you get if you have a strong presence there. So always keep your eyes open for those opportunities. Now, how much different would your practice, reputation, and life be if you implemented these strategies just 6 months ago? How much more goodwill, trust, and visibility would you have garnered? How much more positive brand equity would you have? How many more new patient referrals from Google would you have each month? How many more people in your local community would you be helping? I haven't encountered any obstacle or challenge that you'll face with Google or social media. And what you have to understand is, while Google is a very important pillar of the social media outreach, the reputation and social proof angle is just one of many that you have to master this year and beyond to have just a dominating presence online. You got the reputation social, you got the organic social posting like the Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram marketing, pay-per-click advertising like Google AdWords, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, search engine optimization, which all that means is getting your chiropractic website ranked at the top of Google. You got the online video aspect, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Reels, Facebook. You've got the blogging, the microblogging site like Twitter, photo sharing, Pinterest and Instagram, news releases and publicity, podcasting, audio apps, so many different layers where you'd want to have a presence just to be everywhere and anywhere someone searches. You want to be in every single nook and cranny. Now, whenever I host these types of trainings, I usually find that there are a few different types of doctors who typically attend. One, the doctors, you've seen this information and you're just probably not going to do anything with it, but I sincerely hope that's no one because of the time that we're in. People buy doctors like they buy books on Amazon, and you need to make a push to have that large amount of social proof because it affects every single thing you do, not just on the search engines, but social media-wise. The second type of doctor you might be, maybe you are already doing some stuff online with social media, and maybe it's producing okay for you, but you're ready to take it to the master level. You know that this stuff is not a fad, and you really want to learn from someone and or a group that's already been where you are, and you want to ramp it up. And the third type of doctor you might be, maybe you're just doing really well. Maybe you're attracting a couple dozen new patients per month from social media, but you know that you're capable of even better results with just some subtle tweaks. Now, regardless of what category you fall into, I can definitely help you. This is why I'd like to introduce you to Social Media Elite. This is my flagship home study training that's instantly downloadable with over 70 videos. And it's created by a doctor, myself, and it works for any type of chiropractic practice, whether you're straight chiropractic, personal injury, functional medicine, neurology, weight loss, etc. And it has a 6-month money-back guarantee because just one new patient more than pays for the system. And we're really creating systems that are going to feed your office for life. So what you get in the program is you get Facebook organic referral marketing strategies. You'll look over my shoulder as I show you the high leverage places to begin to get more free traffic from the social network and other platforms. You'll also get my Facebook ads marketing with sample ads to swipe. Take the guesswork out of it so you can actually just plug and play. And you'll learn all about the PPC, the Facebook advertising platform, and just how lucrative it can be for your practice. And I have an entire module that's dedicated to Google My Business marketing and whatnot. So you're going to learn the best practices there. Also, search engine optimization, some best practices that help you increase your ranking. You don't have to be a sophisticated tech geek to figure this out, but any little that you can do on your own is going to be beneficial to your cause. Instagram marketing. A lot of people have migrated away from Facebook and they're on to Instagram and other channels. So I show you the best practices and how to leverage Instagram for more traffic and new patients, including everything from contests to geo-targeting to ads and all that other good stuff. LinkedIn marketing and advertising. This is a very affluent social network that very few doctors are even tapping into. And their advertising platform is something to where you can get into high net worth people so they know about who you are, your brand, your practice. And it's just a really incredible channel that you need to be harnessing this year. YouTube video marketing. If I had to credit one thing, for making me really well known early on, it was YouTube. YouTube is the second largest search engine online, and it's a lot easier for people to watch a 3-5 minute video than it is to read a 1,000-word blog post, right? So you can see why the momentum is built. So I show you the best way to rank your content high on Google using YouTube, as well as to get more viral exposure that way. TikTok marketing. I show you how to capitalize on this juggernaut with over 3 billion downloads it has. And you'll learn the best practices, how to get your videos to go viral. I give you sample chiropractors that you can model who are already doing it exceptionally well. And this channel presents arguably the biggest opportunity for chiros right now when you understand what's going on. Again, it's been a lot of shift and a massive migration from Facebook over to platforms like TikTok and Instagram. So you've got to know how to harness it in the best way. Twitter marketing for doctors. This is a platform where you can literally attract a new patient in a matter of a few minutes if you do it right, because it's real time down to the second conversation. And I show you the best ways to harness that. Outsourcing and leveraging. Look, You got to get your hands dirty when it comes to this, but you don't need to always be doing everything. You should be outsourcing and delegating periodically once you've got a good system in place. And this is what is going to save you a lot of money in the long term so you don't get burned by an agency. You know exactly what to do and when to change something up and when you need to delegate. And I'll also give you a quick start manual and task list. This is a 3,000-foot bird's eye view of everything that will eventually be implemented. So don't let it overwhelm you when you actually look at the manual. You can go through it, but to get an idea of eventually what's going to be integrated. But here's the deal. We're going to get you implementing one thing, and then that one thing, once it's done, and that motion it's everything set in motion, you're going to stack on another layer, and then another layer, and eventually that snowball turns into an avalanche. Keep it simple to start off with, and you will have that breakthrough. It always happens, even in the most competitive markets, if you consistently work this training. And there's just a lot more in the course. What the Social Media Elite training will do for you is it'll actually give you a strategy. This is what separates the doctors, are my top clients that are getting over 40 new patients per month from the internet versus those that are just getting a couple here and a couple there. It's all to do with the strategy. And there's not just necessarily one magic bullet. There's a lot of different layers that we're going to implement. So you're finally going to get strategy. And then it's going to show you how to get a lot of local traffic to your website. Most doctors, they don't get enough local traffic to figure out if their website is good at converting or not. And they're quick to throw their site under the bus. The course shows you how to get top Google rankings so you can help more people and be found in the search. And you'll learn how to become an unstoppable public relations machine that you couldn't turn off even if you wanted to. You'll learn how to attract more new patients. Like I could give you some amazing examples of doctors crushing it using this system on a regular basis. And you also learn a set of skills that pays you for years and years to come. This is not a postcard drop where you put it in the mail one time and then you reap the rewards one time. The goal is to create systems. Now, some will say that I don't have the time, but the reality is it's all priorities. And we're just going to turn that time that you're normally on the computer into productive time to market the office. That's all. And if we need to cut out 30 minutes of TV every day, well, that's what we need to do. Now, you don't have to be a computer genius to make this work, right? It's new learning for some, yes, but it's not biochemistry like we had in school. So it's really, let's put things in perspective. I offer professional guidance and mentorship, and that's why a lot of docs will go with this program. Now, Dr. Trevor Clark says, bought Matthew Loop's Social Media Elite approximately 9 months ago, and boy, has it paid off. I received a minimum of 20 times my investment. Specifically, we are now receiving 3 to 5 new patients per month from implementing the strategies outlined. For anyone considering this program, it's a no-brainer. That's really cool. Dr. Andy Green says, hey, Matt, we're chiropractors in the UK, an osteopathic center. I have Social Media Elite from you a few years ago. Thank you. Getting 60 to 100 views per day. Average new patients in the clinic, 60 per month. About 40 per month from the internet. Love it. Dr. Sachin Patel talks about the information that he's learned, that I provided all the tools, mentorship, and support he needed to help him generate over $1 million in revenue through social media alone. Dr. Jeff talks about how he just opened an office a couple years ago using Social Media Elite and is now averaging 30 to 40 new patients every month from social media. It's truly a no-brainer. Dr. Susan talks about, I've been consulting with you. My weekly new patients are up 16 this week from 5, and I'm looking for an associate to help me with all of this new business. That's really cool. Love it. And Dr. Ryan French talks about, every day this week somebody called for a new patient appointment from Facebook or YouTube. Unreal. That's now 9 in the last week and a half. Took a bit to get going, but I'm impressed. Here's the deal. Sometimes there is a ramp-up period, depending on the market, how competitive, but if you keep working it over and over and over, eventually you're going to break through. You just have to be consistent. And Dr. Ryan talks about buying the program was the biggest factor in our growth. I literally do a handful of everything in the program, and we've seen awesome results. We've set new patient records and sometimes had a several-day waiting list for new patients. This never used to happen. Pretty cool. Dr. Jeremiah talks about he went from 2 to 3 new patients per month to over 25 per month from Facebook with my help. Dr. Brian Morris says, over the past 12 months, we've averaged 35 new patients per month from social media with your coaching. So you have an opportunity today to save 37% on this social media training which is a $220 savings. So it's really just a one-time investment of $377. And what I'll do is I'm going to throw in an extra $3,288 in bonuses. The first bonus is a private phone consultation with me personally, so I can help you hit the ground running. I realize your practice is different from the docs down the street, and I want to make sure that you are on the fast track to be successful. You'll also get access to our Facebook group, our private group, normally valued at $997, and over 1,500 chiros are in there. I chime in there quite a bit, just a wealth of information. You're going to get access to our 365 chiropractic graphics package. It's a $197 value, so if you ever run out of ideas to post on social media, you can just use one of these graphics. You're going to get free course upgrades for life. Sometimes we put new tutorials in the Facebook group, and we're not going to have a Social Media Elite 2.0 or anything like that, but you're just going to get complimentary upgrades for life when we, if we do roll something out. You get unlimited email support. I have clients that have emailed me for years, and one recently remarked, he's like, I can't even believe you still respond after 12 years. But, you know, I always say, listen, if you're going to put your faith in me, then I'm going to, you know, try my hardest and to help move you through to build momentum so you can see some big things happen in your practice. And so it's just been a very blessing, very rewarding time to be in this profession. 3-day new patient machine email sequence. This is if you have an email list, which many of you do, you can slightly modify this and turn it into a reactivation sequence. And I just had one of my clients that sent this out to his list of 2,000 people a couple weeks ago, and that produced 10 reactivated patients in the office. So that was a really nice shot of revenue. So here's what to do next. If you like the idea of attracting an extra 40 plus new patients per month without spending any money on conventional advertising, click the big orange Add to Cart button that you see one time below. You'll get access to the trainings after you're in. A welcome email will be sent after purchase with the download links. Check your junk and spam if you don't receive it within 30 minutes. And if you don't see it, just email Anna at info@dcincome.com. That's info@dcincome.com. I'm excited to start working with you, and I can't wait to help you grow. There's so much opportunity with Google Business Profile, along with social media channels like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, all these platforms. If you do certain things in a certain way, I'm going to share with you what's worked for the busiest chiropractic offices in the world, and I look forward to helping you grow. There's massive amounts of opportunity right now, and I'm here to help you every step of the way. So hopefully you found this training valuable, and if you have any questions, post them in the chat and let me know. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Click that big yellow-orange Add to Cart button, get in for the Social Media Elite Special, and I'll see you on the inside.